Everybody, it's Brian in Toronto. I'm going to call today's video 3 Bad Buys. This is not because the music is bad, but it refers to quality control and in various record labels. So I may have more in the future, but let's get into it. I stuck with 3 today, and I'm going to start with a record I mentioned in a previous recent finds video. If I can find the link, I'll put it below. This portion will update the saga to its conclusion, shall we say. So I bought this record called from Jens Lekman called I Know What Love Isn't. It's pressed in 2012 on the Secretly Canadian record label. And in the previous video, I just described my issues with this record. I'm going to repeat those and bring the story up to date. So I bought this in a local record shop in a sale bin. And unfortunately, that meant it was a final sale. So let's first talk about this record. Jens Lekman is a really interesting Swedish songwriter, singer-songwriter, who I enjoy. I like his music. And this particular record is well known to be a good record. It has a nice die-cut front. So if you pull out these inserts, you can decide which image you want to display on the front of your record, which is kind of cool. Lyrics, etc. on the back. So let's just look at the record. There's a polyline sleeve in there, green vinyl, kind of a nice looking green vinyl. Honestly, I don't usually care if it's on black or vinyl or colored vinyl, as long as it sounds good. So I brought this home, put it on my turntable, and I was absolutely dismayed by the sound coming out of my turntable. I thought that my stylus had a clump of dirt on it. I thought maybe my stylus was damaged. Horrible, distorted sound. So I go to Discogs to look this up and found the following comments. A wonderful album, but a completely dreadful pressing. Easily the worst distortion I've heard on any LP. Totally unlistenable. Someone else said bad surface noise, completely unlistenable. Someone said, honestly, it seems to be a secretly Canadian issue. This person mentioned 2 other records from different artists who have the same issue. Another person said, unbearable to listen to, but that he didn't think it was surface noise. Thought it was poorly mastered and there was heavy distortion in the lower or high ends. So I thought, well, I can't take it back. I'll just email a record label to just make them aware. Maybe they didn't know. So I emailed the company at the posted email address and heard nothing for quite a while. So 5 or 6 weeks passed, believe it or not. And I said, well, that's weird. I emailed them again saying, by the way, I sent you this message. No one replied to me. Can you, here's the issue I'm having with this record. Are you aware of this issue? That kind of thing. Again, another month or so passed, or maybe even 5 weeks. I found another email address, so I emailed, I think, 2 email addresses, and I said, look, no one's even bothered to acknowledge receipt of this message. Why can't you just say, yeah, we got your message, we know there's an issue with this record, or something, Instead, the person said, we will send you, finally they replied to me and said, we will send you a standard black vinyl version of this record. And I said, sure, thank you very much for doing that. I wasn't sure they would send me one, but I thought, yeah, I'll take that. So this is the one they sent me, still in the shrink wrap with the hype sticker. I Know What Love Isn't. Same design on the record label, same die cut at the front. Not polylined this time. And standard black vinyl, as they said. So I put it on my turntable, and I thought, there's no difference between this and the other pressing. They sound exactly the same. They are both badly distorted. So I went back to Discogs, and somebody said, just an abysmal pressing. Probably the worst sounding record I own. Someone said, I have this version that sounds like crap. Is there a single not horrible pressing of this record? Someone said I was shocked at how bad it sounded. And then I looked around, and there's a blue vinyl pressing. Same issue. It sounds awful. So I guess the lesson here is, don't buy this record unless you can maybe sample it in the shop, because it seems to me that every version of this record is a disaster. I guess on the positive side, this one came with a download code, so I did in fact download the MP3s. I can listen to them in my car and whatnot. So that's a positive, but I still paid money for a record that is useless to me. And I don't know what to do with it. I don't want to take it into a store and trade it in because I'm just passing the problem on to someone else. Number 2, this is Brian Eno's Forever Voiceless, which, here's the hype sticker on the package, is the 2023 version of the 2022 album Forever Nevermore, which was the lyrical version. This is the instrumental version. In this compostable sleeve, which I've never seen before. I don't know if that means the hype sticker is compostable, but apparently this plastic is, and it's already starting to rip apart. So again, bought this in a local shop. Here's the back cover, and it was on sale because some of these are quite pricey. I've seen them for really high prices, so the price was really affordable. I like Brian Eno. I like that Forever and Evermore record. I'm going to buy this. And I will say the music is really excellent. But once again, there is some serious surface noise or not distortion. This is surface noise. So in my mind, someone said one of the worst brand new record pressings I have ever picked up. No amount of cleaning is going to fix the amount of distortion and dirt. Well, is it distortion or dirt? I'm not sure. Maybe it's both. Dirt, grit, or whatever you want to call it, stuck way down in the grooves. But then he said this is a pressing plant issue. Goes on to talk about RSD issues, the fact that he's been collecting for 60, he has 60-year-old records in his collection that are cleaner than this. And I have to say, another person said this record is really bad. Music is amazing, the pressing has issues. Someone noted they've cleaned it many times, put it through their VPI record cleaning machine. My copy's very noisy. Someone else said, there are passages on this record where the surface noise is louder than the music itself. It is comically bad. It's you know, between it and Jens Lekman, these are the two worst pressings I've ever owned. And again, sale bin, final sale. And even if it wasn't final sale, if I could exchange it somehow, I would likely be in the same situation. Now, there are a couple people on Discogs who noted that they got a good copy that didn't sound bad. So that's interesting to me that someone got one. Here's the clear vinyl. And I know some people might comment on the fact that it's clear vinyl, but I think it goes beyond that. It's got to be some other issue with this. But from a record company that's this well known, I'm actually surprised that it's so bad. And again, I tried to email the company. It's hard to find who to talk to, and I have had no luck on that. So I'm kind of stuck with that too, I guess. Number 3. Now, do you know this Black Sabbath Paranoid Super Deluxe box set? Maybe you know it. Kind of a seminal record in the history of rock music. Here's the back. It was stuck on the back, which I took off because it was only stuck on in 2 corners and it looked like it was going to rip, so I put it in the box. This thing comes, I'm sure you've seen this before, it comes with this nice hardcover book, which has lots of history, and it's really nice. It's really well done. It comes with a giant poster that I'm not going to unfold because it's quite large. There's the hype sticker. There's another booklet here which has information and photographs, etc. Very good. The whole thing is really well done. Comes with the original album, the quad version, and this really interesting triple live in Europe recording, which is kind of great. So as usual, by the way, I should just preface this by saying, usually I like to buy records in my local shop. I have bought things from Amazon that required return, and that's an easy return process, and I have no issues sending them back. I only buy from Amazon if it's something I can't find or can't get here, or if the price is just astounding. So this one came from I won't name the record store, but it came from a Canadian record store with I think they have a physical location. Anyway, it was a deal where there was free shipping if you spent over a certain amount, and it was on sale. I had some discount code, so this was impossibly cheap. Well, very, very cheap, let me just say that. So as usual, I pull it out, nice polyline sleeves, and totally dismayed to find that there are a myriad of hairline scratches covering every single record in this collection. So I go to Discogs to verify this, or to see what people are saying there, and mine came with a ton of tiny inaudible hairline scratches. His also had a mislabel, which is not that big a deal for me. 5 albums came with hairline scratches that cover both sides. If you're going to buy this box, be aware that the set will probably contain scratch discs, which may or may not be audible. So I've listened to this, and these are inaudible scratches. I don't hear anything. Now, the music is so loud in some cases, you're not going to hear it, but even between tracks, I don't hear anything. I read another comment where someone speculated, it's like, did they drag this behind their car before they put it in the sleeves? My question is, honestly, how bad is quality control that the person sleeving these records in the pressing plant don't notice all these scratches? I don't think it's possible to show them here. I don't think you might not be able to see them, but they're everywhere. Like, how bad is the quality control that it was missed? Like, how is that possible? that was the quad version. This is the regular original record. I don't think you'll be, well, maybe you can see some. It's hard to see. But there are hundreds, literally hundreds of scratches. And there's one that goes right across. It's not raised. It goes right across. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, right across the whole record. Now, I could send this back, but the way this company works is I'd have to pay for shipping, which doesn't make any sense. So if I take this to a record store to trade in, although these scratches are not audible, I don't think any record buyer would buy this. If they did purchase it for their store, would a person looking at this buy this record, especially this one? No, they probably wouldn't. So totally frustrating. I guess it means buy local, but even when you buy local, you sometimes have issues. But this is a disaster. And fortunately, it's not audible, but I'm kind of feeling a bit bummed out by that. So I guess that's just a rant. Is it a rant? It's a rant. So there's my rant for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.